Hi everyone, my name is Adriana Calli and I am the current CEO of Google. And today's presentation will be on at Google, we didn't and will in the future do no evil. For the situation definition and the description of facts, Google truly cares about the relationships it has created with its customers and prides itself on keeping those relationships and working to make them as strong as they can be. Google has clear and defined terms of use, including terms of privacy, which are available for all users to access and read at any time, and they are provided to the users once they create an account with Google. Google is complying with the U.S. government expectations and laws by providing them with the data that they ask for. And Google understands and respects the opinions of its customers and has worked and will continue to work on fighting the issue until their customers are satisfied with the outcome. For the situation definition and the identification of principles and values, the main values that Google has include focusing on customer experience. They are always working towards providing a better experience for their customers, whether it is with Google+, Gmail, or just the Google search engine itself. And they're always listening to what their customers have to say and to apply what they hear from their customers' feedback to their products and services. And in turn, they use that information to create better products and services for the customers to access. It is required by law to follow through with the demands of the U.S. government, so it would be wrong if Google were to not comply with what the government is asking them to do. And Google is always thinking of the safety and the privacy of the user and their information. They want to make sure that their customers feel secure using their servers and accessing information through the Google name, which is why Google even has a safety center where customers can go and access and read about the many things that they can do to prevent any issues from happening and to always keep their personal information and their family's information safe and secure. For the U.S. government, their main value is to keep the citizens of the United States safe and protected. That is their goal. For the situation definition and statement of ethical issues and questions, right now Google is being put into a difficult position. They are between the conflicting wants of the United States government and the wants and the requests of the customers of Google. They have to decide who they're going to please and how they're going to do it, which is really tough for a company like Google to be put in this kind of a situation, as regardless of their decision, it will be affecting thousands and thousands of people. So the questions that arise with this situation are, should Google continue to supply the United States government with the information they seek and risk ruining the relationships with its customers? So by continuing their involvement with PRISM and the NSA and the FBI and allowing them to have access to their databases, and their customers are viewing this as a breach of trust, and by continuing what they're doing, they might risk ruining the relationships they have worked so hard to build because their customers aren't currently understanding what is happening and are scared of what is being taken from their personal information and was being provided to other people without their consent. The other question is, should Google stop complying with the U.S. government's demands and continue to focus more on making their customers happy? But the risk with this is they could be sued or face legal charges against the FBI and the NSA, or even more with the U.S. government. And the problem here is this puts the entire company of Google at risk, not just the part of the company that is providing the information that the U.S. government wishes to access, but the entire Google name that they have worked so hard to build since 1998 could be destroyed for a few legal charges. The analysis of the situation and weighing of competing principles and values. Here are the principles and values for Google and the customers of Google. Customer satisfaction and positive relationships. This is extremely important to Google. They pride themselves on having the happiest customers and making sure that they do everything possible to meet the needs and wants of those customers. And it's stated widely across all of Google's missions, what they believe, who they are, and the type of company that they strive to be. Another principle and value for Google is the safety and security of our customers and the information. And this is a core value to Google. Again, this is why we have the Safety and Security Center, as we want to make sure our customers know that there are means to protect themselves. We also wish to be viewed as a trustworthy business, and we wish to uphold the reputation that we have worked hard to build. And explaining the current situation with Prism and all parties involved to our customers. We want to make sure that our customers are in the loop and that they thoroughly understand what is going on, and that Google would never do anything to harm our customers or break our trusting relationships with them, or provide information that we were not given the rights to distribute. However, the U.S. government, FBI, and the NSA also have principles and values for Google. Google should be following the U.S. government's laws and regulations to prevent legal issues. Google, as a company, just as any other U.S. citizen or small business or large business, they all have to follow the laws presented by the U.S. government that are put into law, and not following these laws could cause some serious issues. Google's also trying to successfully meet the demands of these organizations while not trying to disregard Google's business ethics. They want to make sure that all of these parties involved are happy and that Google is satisfying them, especially because of their stature in the United States, but they cannot not listen to the business ethics that they have created. So Google is currently fighting for a better solution for all, and the potential of a poor ending, resulting in a negative outcome for the company. As for the analysis of the situation and the consideration of the external factors, there are a few issues that are currently affecting all parties involved. Current investigations conducted by the FBI and the U.S. government, if they are currently searching for different people who might put U.S. citizens or the country as a whole in harm's way, and by not providing them with information that they could use to capture these criminals, it could ruin an investigation that the FBI has been working hard on and potentially have an attack or an incident. And this can go for all different types of crimes that are minuscule, such as a robbery or a drug bust or even a terrorist attack. And this also goes for safety and security for the United States as a whole, attacks from other countries, or attacks even within the U.S. border. And other issues could be the viewpoints of customers of Google, whether they're current or they're potential Google customers. If they see what we're doing and view it as an issue with their own ethics, then they might look at Google a little differently and rethink their business with us as a company. As for the analysis of the situation and the examination of the duties to various parties, as for Google, as a company of the U.S., Google has to oblige by these rules and laws set forth by the U.S. government, as well as the other involved organizations such as the FBI and the NSA. Again, Google doesn't have any extra rights just because of its name. They too have to follow all the rules set out by the U.S. government, just as if any other U.S. citizen or business, no matter how small or large, would have to follow. But as for a company itself, Google has the duty to provide a secure service to all of its customers, as it does and as it always has does, and they will continue to do this. But as for the government of the United States, they have to ensure that the security and the safety and protection of all the U.S. citizens is safe, and this also includes protecting them through the use of the internet. And as an organization, the United States government has to ensure that everything they are doing and all of the decisions that they make is what is best for the entirety of the country, not certain sections of the country or certain types of people, but for everyone. And everything has to be in the best interest of the citizens of the United States. This also goes for the organizations of the FBI and the NSA too. As for the analysis of the situation, discussion of applicable ethical theories, there are terms and conditions that Google has set out. We wish to format these in a way that will not be ignored by users, as they sometimes are. Users tend to miss important information, especially information that regards their security and their information, as they don't read through all of the tips and the rules that Google has set out. So it needs to be formatted in a way that users will pay attention to. And information on our legal involvement with the NSA and the FBI. We want to explain the situation, not keep it hidden, and to remove that false belief that we're allowing these organizations immediate direct access to private files and data, which is not the case. And for all parties involved to provide a statement and outline the situation. Just as much as we would like to provide as much information as possible about our involvement with PRISM in a statement that can be read, we would like for the NSA and the FBI and any other parties involved to do the same. This will decrease the worry of our users and our customers and the possible retaliation through court battles or stopping involvement with our companies. And this will also protect all of the organizations that are involved. As for the decision, Google's actions are based upon its company's ethics and what it feels to be best for its customers. We want to work towards providing a reasonable outcome for everybody that is involved to make sure everybody is happy. And cooperation between everybody will protect Google from losing our customer base and prevent any disruption of legal U.S. government practices. Based on moral theories, there are two that we could use to defend our decisions. Categorical imperative is one. This is to behave in a rational way that would be rational for anyone. So Google wants to appease all parties that are involved, its customers and the U.S. government and the organizations, just as anybody would when they're in a difficult situation. They want to make sure that everyone's happy. And the other is utilitarianism. This is when an action is right as long as it causes good consequences compared to alternative actions, and it's wrong if it doesn't. Google's decision to continue involvement can be viewed as right because Google will be on good terms with the U.S. government and they won't be facing legal action. And Google's decision to provide more information about the situation to its customers shows that we have the best interest in mind for everyone, and it removes confusion and worry while still keeping our good customer relationships.